Yeah. Always an excuse from Tom Sandoval. All right. Thank you so much, Nancy. Also, Big Apple Girl. Sandoval lied to TMZ when he said Schwartz was only taking a break from Scandal, not Sandoval. Cue to 3640 of Schwartz on When Reality Hits with Jax and Brittany. Okay. So,
who have like the #1 podcast, by the way.
Yeah. Is Tom Sandoval jealous of Ariana Madix's brand deal? Subject, worm with a mustache, sent via form submission from Dumois. So apparently Tom Sandoval is still throwing a temper tantrum over everything that Ariana is doing and all of the support that she is getting. Latest tea is that after her Duracell commercial, he is not wanting her to film in the house anymore for any of her commercial deals that she signed on for. He can her best friend in their house, but demands that she doesn't film in a house that is half hers. This man is bitter and unsufferable.
Oh,
I mean, what do you say?
What do you say? I don't know. There's nothing to say.
Oh, well, it keeps going. So on top of this, Jax Taylor is saying, I watched the reunion. Now, this is what I don't get. Jax Taylor, Kristen Doty. Kristen Doty came back. Nobody thought she would have came back just for the same reason that nobody thought that Stassi Schroeder would have been back. It was because you were canceled, right? Like nobody was anticipating a comeback, especially like a mediocre small one like they did with Kristen Doty, which was like probably as eventful as this big reveal after the third part of the reunion, right? It's like it's something that it was unnecessary. We didn't need, there was so much drama already. And for this, Jax Taylor, he's been in talks. They have promoted him on Peacock with this Watch What series. They had him on Watch What Happens Live to promote his podcast. And now he's saying that Lisa Vanderpump is nothing more than a prop on the show. That before it made sense for her to be on the show. But now it doesn't make sense because, well, it seems like she's just there to watch, spectate, and collect a check. Now, I did a poll asking you guys if you agree with Jax Taylor, and the funny thing was most people did.
I mean, I agree with it. I think it's smart as hell. What are you talking about?
Wait, but do you question with him why is she on the show at this point?
Who? With why Lisa is there?
Yeah.
Yeah, I said this when we covered, I think it was the last after party we did for Vanderpump Rules. I feel my thoughts were that she just appears a little done. Not herself, but with the show. And it's really hard to fit her in. You know, it's really hard to, with everything going on, especially Scandal, you know, they're at a point in their lives, right, where they have kids, they're making their own decisions. They don't need the motherly guidance of Lisa anymore. They don't really work for her at her restaurant anymore. But, so it's very different. The show has become something different.
You know what's kind of funny is the hypocrisy of like, people tell Sheena it's not her show, even though Sheena was the catalyst in the segue from Beverly Hills to Vanderpump Rules. But then also, like, could you give the same? Could you say it's okay? Thank you, Lisa. Like, because Jax is saying, yeah, sure, you gave us a show. We had to make it successful. So,
well, I mean, like you said, Sheena was the catalyst in the beginning of why Vanderpump Rules started and was able to transition from, you know, Beverly Hills into Lisa having this other show. But Sheena can't carry the show by herself. You know, there many people throughout the history of Vanderpump Rules, the 10 seasons we've had, have carried different seasons for various things. You know, Jax stealing in Hawaii, Miami Girl, Stassi and Kristen, and, you know, like it's just the Witches of WeHo. Everyone had a purpose, but now it's like redefining itself, and it's redefining itself, unfortunately, really not with Lisa, but I don't feel like she cares. Like, leave my name on the show. I have other things going on. You know, I don't think it's such a bad thing.
Yeah.
But I do agree with Jax. It's not just working in a restaurant. That wasn't the point of it. You know, we don't need to see like the orders come in and the food runners run to the table. And we don't need to see that because we're here for what it is actually about, which is the drama, which has carried the show through.
Well, what are your thoughts about Tom Schwartz going on Jax and Brittany's podcast and Tom Schwartz addressing his relationship with Tom Sandoval, saying at this point that he sees that now he's heard Ariana's side. He feels like he was gaslit, and he's also going to be taking a step back away from Tom.
That would be a very good idea, I think, at this point. But unfortunately, just like Lisa would probably love to take a step back from everything, you're business partners. You run a business, you know, and it's not just one person on it. It's not just Schwartz's. It's not just Sandy's, it's Schwartz and Sandy's. So they have to communicate. This is where it becomes sticky. Never get in business with your friends. You know?
Right. No. I totally get that. But then also, Tom Sandoval was trying to double down to TMZ saying, well, no, he's cleared this up 5 times. He didn't say that he was done with Sandoval. He said he was done with Scandoval.
Aren't we all? But yes, no matter what you said, we're offering some advice. I would say to take a step back from Sandoval as well.
Yeah. And even Sheena said in a recent podcast too that she was equally as disappointed. So one of the things that I find so interesting is that so many fans are on Twitter and getting upset with the cast as if like the cast knew what the big reveal was. I can say really quick, the cast did not know until last minute, except for Raquel. And I'm sure Tom Sandoval, because I'm sure Raquel and Tom talked. They did not know what was going to happen until last minute. All they said to date, until this all came out, was, we don't think it's as eventful as Bravo is making it to be. And they were right. They were right.
I mean, and isn't it always like that? I said it's always when you have those big promises and we get this under-delivered, you know, like they never deliver in these big moments, right? No. And I think that we didn't need the big promise. I don't think we needed the whole like shtick of like, oh, I would wait to sign your contract to see the last 5 minutes of things we've already been talking about for months at this point.
I mean, yeah. So at this point, are you just like done
with
Scandoval?
I think, you know what I'm more interested in is how season 11 is going to move forward. How is, you know, what are we going to be watching for at this point, right? Because remember the scene at SUR where Lisa was cheersing everyone and she was like, I hope you guys in your life find something. I don't know. She was giving some, you know, speech. And that was supposed to be the last scene of Vanderpump Rules. Right. You know, that was supposed to be it. So now how do we move forward? Now, what we're going to be watching is Tom and Raquel trying to somehow weasel their way back in the group, I'm guessing. You know, like I'm not really sure how you move forward here. Like, I don't know. Originally, when this whole Scandoval broke, I said, man, they just bought like 2-3 more seasons. And now I'm like wondering how season 11 would be put together.
Yeah. Well,
you know,
love you guys. Sending hugs. Thank you, Robin Crawford.
Thanks, Robin.
All right, Jason, I think that we covered enough Vanderpump Rules. Is it time for me to take you down the Jersey Turnpike?
Oh, not again. If there's anything I don't want to talk about anymore, it's definitely Scandoval and it's definitely Jersey, especially if it comes to the 2 Jersey women who I think you're going to bring up.
Yeah. You know, this is a show, too, that even because we were talking about Pops earlier, Pops always said too, which is so funny, guys, if you knew the backstory of what's going on in the family right now. Pops was like, I don't get why they're all fighting. This is crazy. Why are the brothers and sisters fighting? And like the parents would have never wanted this. And if you guys only knew what was going on the other side of this curtain, you'd be like, fuck, Pops, you did not think that this was going to bleed into the rest of shit. Bravo has just now become reality.